Hey, what's going on, everybody? Joe Nathan here, your collecting Texan, coming at you today with a Transformers video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege, Weaponizers, Lazerbeak, and Ravage. I did that backwards. Lazerbeak and Ravage. I'm going to start off, take a really quick look at the packaging here. You see that it's open clamshell with the Siege logo here, War for Cybertron, Transformers text at the bottom. On the side, you got a nice artwork of Ravage and Lazerbeak here and their name. Then on the back, you've got their product shots and how they interact with Soundwave. That's pretty much it for the figure. It's, for the packaging, it's very basic. So let's move on to the figures themselves. Here we go. Here's Lazerbeak and Ravage. I got it right that time. Very simple. Very small. I'm going to real quick come in close to take a look at some of the detail here. On Ravage, you've got these really nice Decepticon logos here on what's going to be the front legs. You've got some nice paint, silver paint applications here. You can kind of see the rear hip thrusters that are going to be right here, and you got some nice purple here in the middle. Nice silver paint apps. On the bottom, nothing, just, unpainted black and gray plastic. So that's it for Ravage. Let's come over here and take a look at Lazerbeak. On Lazerbeak, I really like the colors on Lazerbeak. They're very bright. You've got, see here, the main body is going to be your standard red plastic, and you've got some gray here for the hinges. Really nice silver paint and deep red paint on the wings here. Picked out all that detail real well. On the bottom, it's again just like Ravage. It's just plain red, gray, and black plastic. On the butt here, or what's going to be his thruster, you see he's really got a real nice Decepticon logo right there. So that's it for the details of each paint apps and stuff of each figure. So let's get to transformation into their alt modes, their robot modes. So for Ravage, you're going to start by folding in the legs, the sides here, fold in each side, and then you're going to come in here. And you're going to pull these two the front legs forward, kind of get those up and out of the way, and then back here. See this gray piece right here is it's the whole rear hip section. So you're just going to flip that out all the way until it kind of pops into place. And you're going to rotate these around. And then you're going to bring the hind legs down just like that. So the same thing on this side. Just fold it around. You come in there, get your finger in there. If you like me, you got big old fingers. And you just fold the rear legs down. And then there you have that. So now you come up to the front, you get your thumbnail in here, and pop out Ravage's head, and you bring these all the way up until they kind of set in place, like that's a locking point, just like that, right there. And you just move the shoulders back. And there you have Ravage in his very stocky, very bulky cat mode. There's not much more in the way of paint apps on this guy in this mode. It's still your standard silver and purple, but like I said, you can see much more of the hip thruster silver because they're obviously exposed in this mode. And then you got some really nice red paint on the eyes. It's a nice Ravage head sculpt. Kind of wish there was more paint application put on there to kind of pick all that detail out. But there you have that. That's Ravage. Your articulation is, just forward and backward movement at the shoulders. You got your forward and back motion at the legs. And back here, same thing, just rotation at the hip and then at the I guess what would be the knee here. That's pretty much it for the articulation for Ravage. It's very basic, very minimal. So let me set him off back here, and let's get to Lazerbeak. So for Lazerbeak, it's very like one of the simplest transformations I've ever seen. You simply just fold his legs down. You come up here, fold out his wings, flip him over, get your fingernail right in there, pull out his head, and you flip up. Well, don't push too hard or else that'll happen. Pop that back into place. And you just come back here, flip up his thrusters, and there you have Lazerbeak. Same situation here. There's not much more in the way of paint applications in his little condor mode here. You get to see that real nice Decepticon symbol on full display. Real nice silver paint on the front part here of this thruster, and you get to see that silver and red paint here. One of my favorite things about this figure is the full-blown visor he's got going on here. I can't remember if I saw it in the original G1, the first episode where they were still on Cybertron. He had a full visor. I don't know if it was in the cartoon or if it was in a comic. I can't really remember. But I prefer this look to Lazerbeak as opposed to just having the two yellow eyes. I just think it's cooler. But that's it. I mean, articulation-wise here, you've got, your hinges here at the wings, and you've got your outward motion at the legs. And then you've got two hinges here at the head. You got one right here at the torso and then one at the neck there, so you can get some decent poses out of him as far as the head is concerned. Now, these are obviously weaponizers or shieldizers or whatever. But one cool thing about Lazerbeak in particular, let me pull my sound wave out here. I don't know if you can see it very well. Actually, well, you can. There's these little hooks, these little grooves right here that are on both of his forearms. You look at Lazerbeak's feet, he's got little hooks. What you do is you come in here. Oh, don't drop it. You come in here, and those little hooks on Lazerbeak's feet sit right, well, they sit in those grooves. Now, bear in mind, it's not a very secure connection, but that is a method of displaying Lazerbeak with Soundwave. And I mean, if you can obviously extend his arm out to have him facing forward, but that's one option you have for Lazerbeak. And obviously, you can transform him back into his cassette mode. And then the main gimmick here is you flip out this little post. Ouch. I don't know if you can. I got big old fingers, so it's hard to do. You flip out this post, and you can plug it into any one of the ports on his arms or legs or his back, and you have a shield. And that's the same thing with Ravage here. I'm going to go ahead and transform Ravage real quick. Fold his legs up. Fold his legs up. And then you want to rotate that all the way in. You leave his legs just like that. And then these pieces right here, you see there's a little notch right there, and there's a little tab, a little black tab right there. When you rotate this in, it's going to kind of lock into place. Like that. And then what you do is you just fold his legs over, and there's going to be a little locking point right there. And there's a little notch right there. When you fold his legs in, it's going to sit in the back there. And when you fold him out, they're going to stay in place back behind those little locking points. And the same thing with Ravage. You can, get this post out and put him on his arm here, put him here, on the outside of his arm. And obviously you can still pop this open and, pop open his chest, and lock him in. With the Ravage, well, with the Ravage, if you get it locked, oh, now he's doing it. Sometimes it'll get stuck and it won't open. But, and then you've got your Lazerbeak here. It goes right in there and practically jumps out when you open his chest. So, there you have Transformers Siege Trilogy, Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege, Weaponizer, Lazerbeak, and Ravage. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Nathan, your Collecting Texan, signing off, and I'll see you next time.